Hello, we are here. I am Pam.
I'm Jay.
And we have a friend today who's Maddie. And we're here to talk to you about how to get digital books and why it matters. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to talk about Sora.
So Sora is a great way to listen to books if you have to do a book reading for class and reading comes to be an issue. You can download it from the App Store or you can find it off Google for your computer, and then you can just log in with your school provider school username because most schools use Sora. And then you can look up the books under audio and find the book you need.
And it looks like this little astronaut spacesuit person when you're looking for the app to download. And then you can go in digitally and get the audiobook or the ebook, depending on what your school has available. And then if your school doesn't have Sora, or you're not a student, and you want to get a digital book or an audiobook, you can use Libby. Yes. I use Libby all the time. It looks like this. It's this little person reading, and you download that app. You do need a library card, so you will need to talk to whoever your public library person is. Get a library card, and then you can log in with your library card. And then you can go get digital books and look at, I have one that I have requested right here. And then we can go, I have all of these libraries that I'm available to get. And then we can look at my shelves, and I have, as you can see, I have 34 books on hold.
34.
Because that's how I roll.
And the reason why that's a good idea is because books are going to drop onto your shelf at different times. You might have a 12-week wait for a book.
Yes,
so, yeah.
And then I will also get books as both an audiobook and an ebook. So I have 14 books here on hold. If I look at my on this shelf from this library, if I look at my checked out books, these are my holds. Let me go back to my shelves. And I have 8 books on loan. So for example, so I have for my son, because he couldn't find his library card, we have checked out both the ebook and the audiobook of Lord of the Flies. Oh, look, I can see that he's read another chapter because he's at 70%. So.
And the really awesome thing about an audiobook, is so when you listen, the characters are in your head.
Yeah.
And there's a little movie going and you understand what they sound like, how they set the scene. One of my favorite audiobooks is Jason Reynolds' Long Way Down. Just the author, number one, the author reads the book. So you have his voice in your head. And it's a short one. I mean, gosh, this couldn't be more than a couple hours.
Yeah.
But it's just a fabulous read. But the reason I love looking at the book too is because of the way that he writes the words on the page is also so awesome. But the way he tells this story, it just touched me so much. But you love audiobooks too, right?
And for those of us, I have dyslexia, and therefore I need digital books. I need them to either be as an ebook that I can make really big on my iPad and adjust the font, or be able to listen to them. And we've discovered that can be super helpful. So tell us about your journey with audiobooks.
I came into here and I could not read to save my life in high school, and she was like, try audiobooks because they could be a huge game changer. And I listened to one and I actually really enjoyed it, and now I've probably read more books and listened to them in the last year than I have in the last 5. So,
if that's not an endorsement.
And you have also you can adjust the speed.
Oh yeah.
So if, for example, you have ADD, making them faster can be
so their voices don't.
Yeah, but it's like a hack that can force your brain to hook in. Also, if you have an audio processing disorder where it's hard for you, you can slow them down. And if you are reading a book, for example, one that we look at is Their Eyes Were Watching God.
Okay.
And that is written in a Southern dialect that can be very hard on the page. But if you hear it, it makes sense to
yeah,
you. Or books
yeah.
that have a lot of foreign words in them that you're
Or they
unfamiliar
have
with.
awesome accents. Like, you know how much I love the Rosie Project and that Australian accent? I can't speed this up because that's voice just...
Well, or we
Yes.
listened to Crying in H Mart. And like we had Eileen.
I would have never been able to understand the words of the Korean food words that she was using.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
And it-
super helpful.
yeah.
Have you read any books like that you can think of that are helpful to have as the audio because of the words?
Not necessarily because of the words, but because of like it switched between two different people and the voices changed.
Yeah.
So it was a lot easier to like comprehend on who's talking
Yeah.
instead of like having to read it and figure it out.
So we're here today to tell you to log into Sora, download the app. If you don't have Sora, log in and get the app for Libby, get your library card,
get your library
and
card.
get your digital ebooks and audiobooks so you can access them and you can check them out from your living room.
Yeah.
And
You
listen
can
on
listen
your phone.
when you walk your dog, listen when you're driving in the car, listen when you grocery shop. You will find all sorts, doing laundry, so many
Cooking.
ways to listen. Yeah.
Yes, all the time. And people ask me, how have you read 18 books since January 1st? Well, I do a lot of laundry and I shovel snow. And how many books do you think you've listened to this year?
Like 6. About.
That's wonderful.
That's amazing,
It's about
right?
a book a week. It's about a book a week. Yeah,
So
it's pretty
that's
awesome.
pretty fabulous. So thank you.